We're not stopping that, by the way, this goes on for about 30 minutes. So we're not overrun. This is a competition that's not open to people from America, right? Okay, they're not allowed to participate. The competition is on a show of hands. First person who puts their hands up, who can spell Cincinnati, wins this. Oh, look. We've got 2 people! 2 Jesus Christ!
C-I-N-C-I-N-N-A-T-I.
The only thing about the shark, I'd just like to say, is that I like it back. Because I didn't actually buy it, I borrowed it. It's a loan shark. Anyway, please don't play it during the comp. Please don't play it. So it's our first winner of the day. The meeting this afternoon is slightly different because for the first time we really, I think, have some international kind of presence. And so that everybody knows who the international people here are, I would just like them to stand up and introduce themselves, starting off in alphabetical order with people from the USA.
This chap is Joel Peterson, he's our Director of Circulation Sales. And next is Chris Cepeda, who's the Director of Production and Product Development. Ben Contra, who is our Vice President of Core Sales. Norm Goldridge, or Norbert as he's called this week. I told you I wasn't going to be funny. Who is our Director of Operations, and Craig, who is our Vice President of New Product Development.
So Alex, would you stand up please? No, Alex, I said stand up.
Sorry. This is Veronique, who is our best salesperson and our only salesperson.
My name is Judith Krummer and I'm from Germany, and we are coming from Quorum Publishing, and we are part of Hobsons for 2 months now.
Thanks, Justin. One of the nice things about these events is that these people from Scotland come and see us. And I would really like people from Scotland just to stand up, please. Come on, there we go. Let's face it, it's a bloody long way to come. Scotland probably takes longer than to come from Cincinnati, so welcome. Anyway, so welcome everybody. I think everybody can get to know each other later. Now, I think now is video time. Is it video time? So, play the video. You can give me a round of applause if you want.
Hello and welcome to Hobsons. Last year was one of great change for the business. Many exciting things have happened, and over the next 20 minutes we'll explore some of these and talk to the people that made things happen. My first guest is Fran Halliwell, European MD. So Fran, what were your main objectives for the past year?
I set myself some very specific objectives when I first came back in. Most importantly, obviously, was delivering the budget and delivering the business. And for me, I felt it was going to be important to keep the team. As far as the business is concerned, though, driving the consumer business and driving the growth in our European markets were key to the success of the business this year. Although there were times when I actually did think surviving to the end of it was the most important thing.
And how successful have you been in realising these?
Well, I'm here, aren't I? No, seriously, now that September's over, we had a great end of the year. Now I can look back, I can see how far we've come, and we've got a long way.
So what was it that made this year different to previous years?
Lots of things. I came back from America. I walked into a completely new team, people I'd never worked with before. Sean and David, some of our most senior managers, weren't there. I was running the whole business. I'd never run the whole business before, and there were parts of the business that I didn't know. I had to get to know them, and Paul Clark will still tell me there are parts of the Education Magazine's business I don't know. And that was quite difficult, and that was what was very different about this year.
So what was the most satisfying aspect of the year?
Now I look back, I think actually looking at the team. looking at the team that we've developed, the team we've got going forward, any of those gaps that I was worrying about in terms of the management team that we had have been filled very easily, and we've got a great team moving forward for next year.
Excellent, thank you, Fran. Last October, Dorothy Buss was recruited as Higher Education Liaison Manager. Since joining the company, she has instigated a number of initiatives, one of which are the HE focus groups. The purpose of these is to invite members of the HE fraternity to tell us what they think about Hobsons and to give us an extra insight into the market.
The focus group was an idea really to, on my quest to make higher education understand Hobsons more. And really just having the higher education focus group meant that the clients were already getting to know us better, already understanding our strategy, and they went away with a much better feeling about us, which was the whole point. It's thrown up some funny results. I mean, all the members of the higher education group now go around saying that they work for Hobsons. They defend us really, really well in the marketplace. They've actually come up with some really great ideas about how we can improve our products, say on the Springboard range, ideas for postgraduate funding, all kinds of ideas about how we can, deal with the clients better and customer service. And so, yeah, there have been great results from the focus groups. There is a league table of companies that universities complain about, and we are not the bottom of it anymore. We were pretty near the bottom. I think my biggest satisfactions have been when clients have actually phoned salespeople up. Southampton phoned up Tijan, I think, the other day and booked 25 grand, which is really amazing. And, loads of things like that. So whenever clients phone up and say, please can I book something, it really, really makes my day, because that's how I want everything to happen. I mean, I'd really love us to be the kind of company where the salespeople sit back in their chairs and wait for the phone to ring.
Probably one of the lessons that Hobsons has learned, not to concentrate on sales totally, is that it's time to blow their own trumpet, to talk about the things that they do, other than sell advertising, and also to get involved in some new ventures, as I was mentioning earlier, the more perhaps altruistic side of higher education, where people can really tangibly see that Hobsons care about the sector and not just about the clients, about the students who come into higher education also.
In addition to the multitude of information that Hobsons provides to students, we have also launched a number of initiatives to help students realise their goals. For example, this year there were 3 undergraduate bursaries, as well as the Hobsons Amber Scholarships, which are in their 3rd year.
The name Amber means a lot to all of the schools who are accredited, but also all the schools who are trying to be accredited. They saw Hobsons as being an Amber partner, and therefore were much more than just sort of media sales. By Hobsons not only pushing the information, but also giving the student the financial access to come and do a course, we felt that we were actually really delivering the whole package.
Hobsons acquired the Good Universities Guide 18 months ago with the intention of sending a member of the Hobsons senior management team to further develop the business in the Hobsons style. David Harrington has been in Melbourne for a year, and he joins me to talk about life down under. David, what were your main objectives for the last year?
Growth and growth. Growth of products. We've launched 7 new titles. Growth of people. We've recruited 40 new staff. And growth in revenue. We've increased our revenue from 1 million to 4.5 million Australian dollars. To create a Hobsons culture, we've changed what was an existing educational publishing business now to a student recruitment business, which is a problem-solving environment where young, dynamic people are driving the business forward. And I suppose to settle myself and my family in Australia, and we're very happy.
So what has been the highlight of the year?
I think initially working with Sandra Milligan. She's the Managing Director of Hobsons Australia, extremely experienced, very bright, very talented, and a pleasure to work with. I think I've learnt an awful lot from working with her. One of the things that has satisfied me is looking around now and seeing 3 floors of busy staff. When I first got here, I think there were 3 staff and lots of boxes. So the fact that we now have what I regard as a business is extremely satisfying. And also we've done some extremely good deals in the last year. And I think the highlight for me was Andrew Faulkner selling 250,000 Australian dollars to a client called Centrelink, and that was within the first 6 weeks of getting here, and that really bedded down the company.
So what do you miss about the UK?
I think personally, the thing I miss the most is a decent TV. Australian television is absolutely diabolical. And when you have a young baby and have to stay in every night, things like the BBC and Channel 4 is something that you pine for. And of course, the thing I miss the most is constant contact with that inspirational figure, Chris Letcher.
Training and career development have always been of paramount importance to Hobsons, and one department which has achieved notable success this year is finance, where for the first time a number of people attained their professional qualifications.
Hobsons has a good track record of bringing on financial people and helping them with their professional qualifications. Most qualifications require 12 to 15 hours of study a week, and if you can imagine having a family, a responsible job and trying to study at the same time is difficult. If you look at somebody like Duncan, he actually had 2 children whilst he was taking these exams, and he had responsibilities at work. So juggling all of those priorities and coming out with the qualification requires determination, an aptitude for it, and also a bit of luck.
February saw the launch of 2 new products: Leadership Focus, a membership magazine for the National Association of Head Teachers, and Campus UK, which is part of the British Council contract. We asked Catherine Dunstan to explain how the delivery teams are integral to these partnerships.
The significance of third-party contracts at Hobsons is absolutely huge. Since I've been here for 5 years, we've seen third-party contracts with ISCO, the British Council, NEHT, and every time I've been out in the marketplace talking about what Hobsons does, we're using these as really a showcase for how we can work with the marketplace. And the reason we're winning these contracts is because at the very early stage of tendering for a contract, we can show them the blueprint for editorial, design and distribution standards throughout. And that is what they're buying into at Hobsons, that we deliver to the right standard.
This year, the UK delivery teams produced 220 products. That is 1.9 million books and magazines, all of which have their own individual requirements. We asked Chris Bull to explain what the particular challenges are of working with third parties.
The client knows what they want, but find it very hard to give us the complete picture. So it's left to us really to go in there and show them what we've done in the past, our expertise, give them a feel for what we've done. They can come back to us and say, yes, I like this design, no, I don't want that layout, and we go from there. The other thing with the third-party client schedules is that they're obviously that much tighter. They expect us to turn around things that much quicker than perhaps we even do on our own products. We've got tighter deadlines, tighter schedules, new contracts here, there and everywhere, but our quality of content and our high quality of design improves year on year.
Delivery of the design idea for a new publication, be it for a Hobsons publisher, an advertiser or an external client, is an exciting experience for the design team. We asked Sally Stray to talk about this element of the Hobsons formula.
When we first show it, the final visuals, it's the first point of contact. It's that we've interpreted their brief. We understand exactly what they wanted to see from a magazine perspective. It's all exciting in some respects, but it's nice to see that first one come off the presses, and you think, yes, that's the first one. If they're happy with that, then we can do the rest, and it's all going to look really, really good. And that's it, really. I don't think people realise that we do get involved in these meetings. We go into them and we meet someone as important as David Hart from the NHAT, the person that I've seen in the paper on a regular basis. I've seen him on the television, and I go in and listen to his vision and I fulfil it in the form of a magazine.
One of the reasons for the Hobsons' success over the last 25 years is the Hobsons formula. In 1998, Fran Halliwell went to Cincinnati to build upon the foundations of the College of Business. 2 years later, Sean Grant has completed his first year as MD of Hobsons US. I now have Sean on the phone to talk about the Hobsons formula stateside. So Sean, what was it like taking over from Fran?
When I arrived, when Fran left last September, there was a lot of uncertainty about the business. There'd been a large restructure. People were uncertain as to what was going to happen. So it was very important that we got off to a good start. We did get off to a good start. We had a wonderful first quarter, and therefore people got a lot of belief in what we were trying to achieve. And we've managed to follow through on that, and we've had a successful year.
What were your main objectives for the year?
One main objective for the year, and that was to turn the company into a profitable business.
So this year has seen a major turnaround in the company's profits. How have you achieved it?
There's two parts to this. Firstly, there's the expense side, and secondly, there's the revenue side. On the expense side, Fran, during her time here, did a lot of analysis into the amount of money that we were spending in cost of sale and in overhead, and she felt that there was too much money being spent. So she brought things in line, and the spend is now more appropriate and more in line with what happens in other Hobsons businesses around the world. So that made a significant difference. And secondly, on the revenue side, we've launched a lot of new products, and we've grown new products that we launched last year. We've also pulled off a couple of big marketing deals. So the added revenue that we've had there has obviously fallen to the bottom line. And all in all, we've managed to turn the company around.
So what are the differences between the UK and US operations?
The US is a huge country, and it's a population of 5 times the size of the UK. Recruitment is very different. People don't tend to recruit nationally because students don't want to travel that far because it's such a large country. So the kind of marketing solutions that we sell are somewhat different. That also brings me on to another major difference, which is technology. People tend to use a lot more technology in their recruitment solutions than they do elsewhere around the world.
2 years ago, it was doubtful that we should have a presence in the US at all. It's a very different story now. What's the future?
The future of Hobsons business in the US is the same as it is elsewhere around the world. We take our mission statement very seriously, whereby we want to provide education and careers information to students, and therefore sell solutions, recruitment solutions to colleges and to corporate employers. We're currently expanding the offering that we have in the education market. We're currently launching product in the corporate market, and also the e-commerce marketplace over here is obviously huge. We have large databases of students, so we have the ability to sell students to consumer marketeers. So we're launching new products in all sorts of different directions, and the future of Hobsons in America is huge.
Thank you, Sean. Since 1995, there has been a 60% increase in the number of people working for Hobsons in London. Having consequently outgrown the St John Street buildings, in June the London offices moved to tailor-made premises in Aldgate East.
I organised the move with invaluable help from the IT department, the secretarial and indeed the administration.
Hello, I'm John Gilbert. I'm the IT manager for Hobsons.
It was difficult to find a building that had 20,000 square feet and 10,000 square feet on one floor for the sales department.
The cabling and equipment was a huge project.
We looked south of the river.
600 data and voice outlets.
We looked in King's Cross.
£20,000 just for the handsets.
And we looked in the Farringdon area.
£150,000 worth of equipment in the machine room.
Day of moving, the secretaries turned up with exceptionally bad hangovers, so therefore the first thing to do was take them all for a greasy fry-up.
All of the secretaries worked on Saturday to ensure their workstations were ready to start work first thing Monday morning.
On the Monday, all staff arrived and they just emptied their crates and set to work, and they were finished emptying their crates by midday, by 2 o'clock, and back on the phones by 2:33.
From my point of view, the whole of the IT team was involved, culminating on the actual weekend when we went down there at lunchtime on the Friday and came back to Cambridge late Monday afternoon.
The hardest part was to find a design company and a building company that could deliver for us within an 8 to 10 week time period.
At the end of the day, it all went very well.
The biggest nightmare was actually trying to get into the old building, as the landlord had put down the shutters and refused to allow us to gain access.
Well done to everybody that was there.
In addition to the annual Directions Fair, this year has seen an increase in the number of student events delivered by the Operations Department. In total, This department have been responsible for the attendance of over 45,000 students to events such as the Your Future In series and various client events. Responsible for this team is Jeremy Cooper, and we asked him what was involved.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Directions 2000. If you're at the back of the auditorium, come join us because we're talking about the internet.
The operations department are mostly responsible for making sure that the products and services that we have are delivered effectively and actually reach the end user.
We'll have three guests up here in just a second. Martha Lane Fox from lastminute.com, Neil Sansa from FreeSurf, and Sotiris Damianos from Psychosmos.
The salespeople provide the biggest challenges. They also probably provide the biggest excitement that we have as a department. Salespeople tend to go out and they get over exuberant, and sometimes they'll promise things that are hard to deliver. So the challenge that we've got is turning their promises and turning their sales deals into deliverable products and services that the clients will be happy with and then renew next year. We have a number of events and exhibitions throughout Europe now. We also deliver them in Asia. We've had some of the major blue chip clients such as Deutsche Börse and Intel that we've delivered for. We've actually proven now that we can deliver for a client a number of students to an event that they'll actually recruit a large proportion of. And I think a real challenge was set to us in the summer where we delivered a Hobsons recruitment event, and I think we actually got about 9 people from that event. Without a doubt, it would have to be my team that I'm most proud of. The reason why is because what we do in operations is not a 9 till 5 job. It's about working weekends, it's about working all night on some events that they do, it's about being busy virtually all year round now. You know, we have to deliver the expectations of the clients, and they're quite often fairly high.
This year we have seen major success in winning consumer advertising revenue. We tracked down Andrew Needham and asked him about this.
Hobsons have always been committed to the consumer marketplace and to the consumer business. That commitment started 3 years ago when they acquired my business, Student Solutions. In that time we have doubled the amount of money we take from the consumer marketplace. The proposition we are taking to our consumer clients now compared to what it was before, there's no comparison. The membership scheme and the Springboard brand and all the excellent work that Tanya has done with that business allows us to talk to our student members on a one-to-one, and that relationship marketing is very exciting to my consumer clients. I think the second reason is the product mix, the variety of products that our clients can use to reach the audience has grown enormously. I think the third reason is the strong customer base that we have brought, that Student Solutions brought to Hobsons. We have some great customers, people like the Times, Virgin, some very big brands, very big names. It's very exciting from the company perspective because we are now the third arm of Hobsons in terms of the revenue streams, education division, corporate recruitment, and now consumer. And I think that is exciting for me personally, because we can look back on the last 3 years and say we have done what we said we were going to do. I think we've moved on from sexy in the consumer marketplace. We're into sorted, wicked and fat.
As our business has grown, it has become increasingly important to communicate the right messages to our clients and users. This year, for the first time, we have had a dedicated marketing department. We asked Helen Simmons about what Hobsons are doing.
I guess really the most important method in terms of communicating with clients, and that's what I want to stress, is the fact that we have all of these salespeople who are talking to the clients on a daily basis, and that is still the most important one method of communicating to clients. But what we really do is we try and back that up as much as we possibly can. With Springboard, we had a customer conference in July where we had about 150 of our clients come And I think particularly for the Springboard clients, they were incredibly impressed with all the rebranding we've done on that unit and with the research department that we've set up. As for the students, we use a wide variety of different channels to communicate our message. I would say that one of the most important channels we still have, this has been true for the last 25 years and is still true, is to work very closely with career advisors in both schools and universities to make sure they really understand about what Hobsons does. There are a lot of new companies out there who are claiming to be able to do recruitment on behalf of our clients. A lot of these companies are internet companies, and with internet companies they spend a lot of money on marketing and PR and making a big splash. I think that it has been important for us to show our clients that we have been the market leader for the last 25 years. We have got there through our expertise and our ability to adapt to market needs, and that we are still number one in the marketplace.
And finally, no review of the year would be complete without a word from Chris Letcher.
This year's been a very, very interesting year. Very worrying year, very concerning year, not for the things that other people have talked about, but for me personally, because this year I'm 4-0, the big 4-0, that's me. Now the reason I've got this bit clear is because, being 40, I need to get my press-ups done. Every day I need to get my press-ups done. So that then we can go and arm wrestle with the sales staff, because unless I'm here to arm wrestle with the sales staff, then what is my job? We bought 20% of that Los Angeles company in September. 18 million, don't tell anyone, $18 million went on that, and that was a perfect example of how much the group believes that we can deliver throughout the whole of the world. Okay, we went to Belgium, we had some chocolates and we had some mussels for lunch. And we saw Red Leonard and we bought Move Up. We bought Move Up for a very, very, very small amount of money and made lots and lots of money on it. And as a result of that, we became the premier publisher of graduate recruitment publishing in Belgium. The forum business is ours to do what we want with from now on, with beautiful offices on the shores of Lake Constance and a casino just by, so we can blow all the profits that we want to buy. So 3 acquisitions later, and Hobsons is now a genuinely international business. Look at the floor. Some people don't like the floor. Me personally, I love this floor. This floor is a fantastic floor. We've got fantastic receptions and we have fantastic flowers. We hide the button underneath the plant here. We put the button for the lift underneath the plant so no one can find it. This girl is expecting a child. Yes, congratulations. We go up from the executive floor up to the 4th floor, where everybody does all the work. Well, this is where all the intellectual work is done. This is where all the clever people work, doing research and marketing. There's Jeremy Cooper over there. Here is the intellectual heartthrob, the beating heart of the brains of the company, and the sales administrators, who we must not disturb because they're disturbed enough already. Now, there's Duncan. Have we got a photograph of Duncan? Because Duncan is a red-headed... Duncan, can you sing for us just a little? Go on, come on, just give us a refrain, just one verse.
A little bit of me and a whole lot of you. Add a dash of starlight and a dozen roses too. Then let it rise for 100 years or two. And that's the recipe for making love.
I love it. What would the sales floor be like with the removal of those Inick, Grant and David Harrington? Well, as we can see, there is atmosphere on the sales floor. Look, he's industrially testing that desk. That desk has been industrially tested this very second. What are you doing?
I'm just sending through a fax to Sonison Group.
What's your name?
Limited. Damien. Damien.
Kieran, you okay?
Hey, mate.
Say hello to the camera, Kieran.
Hey, camera.
Because he's such a photogenic boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
You get more acne as you get older.
I know, it's weird. Don't know what's going on.
One of the things that we've done this year is we have invested in the new logo, the new brand. This is Luigi. I love Luigi. I love Luigi. Ben, on the floor. On the floor now. Come on. Go on, Ben. Who said we haven't got any atmosphere? Come on. Go on, Ben. Go on, Ben. Be gentle, Ben. Don't humiliate me. Please don't humiliate me, Ben. Please don't be.
You ready?
I've got to beat you. 1, 2. I've got to beat you, Ben. You've got to let me beat you on camera, you bastards. Ben! 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 Ben!
Don't worry, girls.
It's fine. He's fine. He's out of the job. He's gone. He's back to the executive floor. Back to the executive floor. Oh. Let's just be serious for a second. What did we do this year? What did we do this year? We created an international business. We now are all over the world, 16 countries, 3,000 clients. 3,000 clients. We did everything that we said we were going to set out to do. We're over budget, very important thing, over budget. Completed 4 acquisitions during the course of the year. We've created a whole new brand, Fran, there's a whole new management team. And this year coming is even better, because this year we're going to start on the creation of a worldwide student movement, which is going to be bigger than any other student movement that's ever been created before in the whole of the world. So it's a very, very important time for us as a company, and we're going to go forward and we're going to meet the challenge, and we're going to get bigger and bigger and better, and we're going to rule the world. And the mission statement, which is going to end this video in all its glory, is yes!
What's going on? Well, I stood up at the Christmas meeting in December last year, and I told you, everybody here, that we were going to be looking at our branding quite closely. We've done exactly that, and we launched a complete branding project. So what in fact we've done is, with the help of a company called Corporate Edge, we've been making some what have been very difficult decisions and completed in fact a huge project. So now it's great for me to be able to stand here and say, with the unanimous backing of the Hobsons International Board, I think for once everybody was in agreement about things, which was great, and also with 100% backing from some of the DMGT board directors I hear, I'm in a position to be able to launch our new brand today. So our new brand, well, we now have a single global brand, and that brand, I'm pleased to say, is Hobsons. In the big wide world, we really want to be seen to be synonymous with education and recruitment and young people. The first name that students and recruiters will think of now will be Hobsons. And to achieve this aim, big really is beautiful, which is why we've gone for one global brand. Everything we do from now on, all of our resources, from marketing to PR, from all of our products and services to, in fact, all of us as individuals, will be shouting the name Hobsons and the integral core values associated with that name. Everything we do will continuously promote Hobsons in the world of education and young people, and we want to become a world-famous brand in that arena. However, it's not all been smooth sailing. In this process, some highly successful product brands such as Get have been retired, and we are creating transition strategies for our other brands. However, I have to say the best feeling I had was when I went to the USA recently, last week in fact, and saw that they've put the new brand onto all of their products that came out last month, which was really, really exciting. It seems that we do actually have a global brand already. So what is the ultimate aim with this branding project? By using a single brand and going for it, we want everybody to think of Hobsons first, whether that be students, recruiters, advisors, everybody. And there's a certain place where everybody knows your name. Apparently that's from Cheers, which was a sitcom. And in this case, students and young people is the place, and Hobsons is the name. So we're now one step closer to reaching the pinnacle of what is our very aspirational mission statement. Now, because our brand is more than just a logo, because it's a reflection of who we are as a company, as individuals, and it's embedded in our corporate culture, and it's this corporate culture we want to really project to the outside world, we've made a short video which kind of shows what I'm talking about.
Best team of the year. Education magazine. And the winner of Best Newcomer Cambridge, Tim Blanchard. And Best Newcomer London. The award for Best Newcomer London goes to Dorothy Buss. The award for Unsung Hero in Cambridge goes to Rosina Hill. The award for Unsung Hero in London goes to Emma. The award for Best New Product goes to British Education Guide China. The award for Best Electronics Product goes to DMGT Opportunity. The award for Best Directory goes to Jobbook. The award for Best Magazine goes to the one and only Springboard. The second to last award, which is editorial people know is called the penultimate award, is for Best Salesperson. Best salesperson this year is Jake. Okay, so the last award, for which there aren't any nominations, is the award we started, I think, 2 years ago, which is kind of called the Chris Letcher Award for Brilliance. And I think it's just an award that gives me an excuse to pay tribute to either a team of people or a group of people or an individual who I think has made a really significant contribution to the success of this company. This particular person I've worked with for some time now, quite a number of years. And when Fran and I were discussing this the other day, we didn't really have any problem when we thought what a good recipient of this award would be. Now, not only does this person this year win an award, this person will also win an all expenses paid trip to Australia to see David Harrington. And I think that some of the applause this evening has been muted by your standards. And so when this award is announced, I want some real applause, okay? This particular person has developed along the lines the way the business has developed. She's been particularly responsible for helping, I think, Fran in the early days and a whole host of people deliver our international vision, particularly in the graduate recruitment business. I personally think she's brilliant. So that's why I wanted to give this award this evening to Audrey Lee.
what we're doing here is really applicable to anything in the US, anything pretty much in the UK, Europe, places like that. And so once we've got the software, which is probably the main linchpin of it all, and built up the skills and things, yeah, it's really transferable just about anywhere.
At the front and in your face, which is all the young thing. I think it's great.
こんにちは、Hobsons の皆さん。
It's a bit of local, it's a bit of international.
It's a challenge in meeting globalisation and mass communication and in enhancing them for the students of the future.
Hey, Spencer! Gonna show some people around. So this is 10200 Alliance Road, Blue Ice, Cincinnati. Where are we? Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, welcome to Hobsons.
This is the sales team.
Me and my Oscar, what can I say? It means the world to me.
Waiting for a contract.
How much was it for?
It's for $5,000.
Alright, we'll go ahead and do a read through the first one.
Make sure to click on audio and video icons to get a comprehensive picture. There's something for everyone.
We'll see you again soon.
Hello and welcome to Hobson's AV department. Wherein the magic that is motion and sound come to the CD-ROMs of College View.
Super size.
Say hi to the eye. This is our mascot. This is our key fact database.
Now, come into the boardroom and meet some people. This is a video that's been shown all around the world in London. It's Jennifer's birthday.
Yeah, birthday.
She's 23.
This is where the magic happens. Not filled out or complete up here, but signed on the bottom for $5,000.
Good job. Did he make it?
Hobsons to me is crossing boundaries.
I think of Hobsons as energetic.
Hobsons means to me a very fast-paced company.
What Hobsons means to me is giving our customer the best service they can get.
Hobsons, to me, is exciting.
Hobsons is a very great place to work, and Chris Fletcher told me to say that. Thank you.
Well, this plan goes across the world, folks. You can make a big bet Hobsons will hit your town. Our man Chris Fletcher, he's on the scene, babe. With Fran Halliwell, they win come what may. Then success flows just like a river. Could it be they spread the Hobsons way? Jeremy Cooper, Jane Forbes and Hendy, this way they know. Lady Simmons too. Every theft rules here, and it's an offer. I'm telling you folks, you cannot refuse. We got Tanya Kulich, we got Nellie Mudd, we got Kyle and Andrew, we got us folks too. We're all such bad cats, and for that smart Hobson's way.
Présentez-vous un peu.
J'habite Cambridge.
Oui.
Je travaille à Hobsons.
Et vous, Chris, vous travaillez à Hobsons?
Depuis 2 mois.
Bonjour monsieur.
Bonjour.
Permettez-moi de me présenter, je suis Monsieur Williams, et vous?
Je m'appelle James Fox.
Dicky Day has got to tell us whether the next card is higher or lower, and he's got to get all the way to number 5. Little button 5. If he gets number 5, he wins that! Which is a bottle of champagne. Dicky, 1, 2, 3.
I'll go higher.
We'll be quick, Dicky.
Higher.
Higher. 4. Oh!
It's the end of the month. We're playing a game called The Weakest Link. Anne Robinson has come to the USA. She's not very popular. She's probably more popular than she is at home, actually. Anyway, we're playing a game where you get a chance to, you get 90 minutes. Your name is drawn out of the tombola, which is over here. So we draw it out of there, okay? And then you get 90 minutes, and you get a chance to accumulate money. It's great. And Matt has got until 5:15. It's 5 o'clock now, which means you've got 15 minutes, Matt, to sell something, and we'll accumulate. What will you get up to? $75. $75.
There's 250 quid here for the winner, and all we have to do is pull out that ticket.
It's a green one, and it's number 383. Non, mais en plus, c'est vrai que ça coûte des gars.
This is Budweiser, the official sponsor of Hobsons in the USA. Actually, no, it's
the official fuel.
To be more accurate, it's actually Bud Light because we don't drink strong beer during working hours. Which, of course, is absolute nonsense. We drink as much of it as we possibly can.
Here at Hobsons US, they supply way too much food. Not a small butter, a large butter. The orange juice, however, is the nutritious part.
This is Norm Goldrich. He's a very, very important person. We pay him a lot of money. Don't tell people what you do.
Run operations.
Bollocks. Tell them about the interesting stuff.
Road racing in circuits, about 200 miles an hour.
I work at Hobsons as a designer. I'm Sonia. I work at Hobsons as a placement student. I'm Jen. I work on the international team as production controller.
Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm the Deputy Art Editor in the Design Department. We find it's a really good way to unwind on a Friday evening straight after work.
We felt that Hobsons had the widest breadth of expertise out there in the student market. It's a one-stop shop, as it were, for graduate recruitment. They come in, they get a profile of the company, they can meet current employees.
In the last 3 or 4 years, telecommunications has got very, very interesting.
I've learned a lot about the company, learned a lot about the work I'd be doing.
It's kind of handy to be able to meet the people that you might be working with in the future.
In the same way as with a normal graduate fair, clients will pay X thousands of pounds to have a stand at the fair. But instead of sort of a physical stand, it will sort of be a microsite, a virtual stand. So it's to try and get the experience as real as possible, but then take advantage of new technology so that people can do it from their desks.
Studying was France, and then you have a choice of which country. And if you put France there, you'll see your university.
Students like actually physically attending recruitment fairs, but the problem in a pan-European marketplace is that students will not travel from one country to another to go to a fair.
Hi, my name's Aileen. I'm at University of Warwick studying psychology in my second year.
I'm Trish. I'm at the London School of Economics studying social anthropology and I'm in my final year.
Students matter, students are normal, students are an investment, and students are many and varied.
Today's school leavers, they think they're middle class, they think they're Brits.
They want the big pension, they want the company car, they want the lot. But be warned, they might still leave you because they'll always want some more.
We have a careers teacher at our college. To be honest, I didn't know who he was until about a week ago.
The students of 2001, you're looking at PlayStation, they're drinking beer, they're drinking expensive beer, they're not only cheap Tennant Super like I was probably drinking when I was a student. They're off to Iron Appa, they're into cosmetics, and they wear Gucci as well.
I know my debt will easily be at least 12 grand when I've finished.
I'm a graduate recruiter, so it's quite interesting, especially hearing the graduates' perspective on things.
Good venue, good speakers, very well hosted.
It's a typical trait of Hobsons to put on a really spectacular event. So this year I was pleased to see that they kept true to form. It was exceptionally informative and a lot of really good ideas came out of it.
We will answer the university, we will effectively be the university to the student.
We work out protocols with them about exactly what we'll say, when we'll say it and how we'll say it, so there are no surprises for the institution.
This is where we store the students' details. So we have the name, the country, nationality, phone numbers, and then we have a complete list down the bottom here of all of our correspondences with the student. One of the biggest assets at the Service Centre is the language staff, because they're able to communicate with students in their own language, which breaks down a huge barrier.
Ya, hasil tes kamu bisa kamu kirim lewat fax.
What the universities have found in the past is that the costs they had to actually service these students were very high. Outsourcing them to us not only gives them a far more cost-effective method of doing it, but we offer a service which they didn't do before.
We have the biggest recruiting fair in Europe, which is called the Absolventenkongress in Germany, Graduate Congress. We increased revenue number of companies by about 30%, so it was a quite successful event, very good organized. Up to now we had just one congress, and this year we for the first time we have a second congress. It cannot be as big as the Winter Congress, but we try to achieve probably half of the size with regard to companies, with regard to students.
John! John! Jesus! Leave me alone, I love her!
Yeah, we know. The world doesn't want to know, mate, trust me.
Yeah, they do! I love her!
Yeah, we know.
Mary! She's so beautiful! And she's so clever!
What do you need?
I need you
But you know I'm going out with Stuart.
Yeah, man.
to give me your handbag. It's really nice.
Okay.
Oh my God! Oh Jesus!
Oh, John!
Oh God! Stuart, help me, please.
Come on, man.
God, look at my handbag.
Oh, ain't he a beauty, eh?
If you do drink, don't do drunk. It's more than just your health it can affect. And coming round now will be some people with leaflets and a competition that you can enter. Thanks for your time.
This campaign is unique. It's the first time it's been tried here in the UK, a national campaign to try to get the message across that getting drunk can bring risks with it. You know, at the very best, you can actually end up looking an idiot in front of your friends. At worst, you could end up in a police cell or in an A&E ward.
If you look at our record, I think it speaks for itself. More than 90% of our clients stay with us for more than 3 years.
We've talked about the emotions that people go through, and now we're going to look at the 4 phases.
The most important thing I want you to remember about this exercise is it's not about you and what you can achieve.
But rapport is really about going over that bridge into the other person's world.
There's no doubt that Apex sales training courses do make a difference.
Rally's actually been working in Namibia since 1992, and we began our long-term project there in 1997.
Now here you go, folks. We've just arrived, and here are the first few shots.
It's the first night at the school, and we've just been told there's scorpions and black mamba snakes, so we're a bit freaked out. My poor nails, they're breaking.
It's our last day, and unfortunately we're leaving tomorrow with something to go actually. Because it's been so great working on the school. It's sad that we're not going to see it finished.
What does Hobsons mean to me? Hobsons means everything to me, I suppose, which is I suppose then it means too much to me. But then I love it here. That's what Hobsons means to me.